I'm Boitumelo's mom. I like funny poses. I'm just a cool grandma.
Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's a girl to me back on the Chic Hive, and I'm in a new space. I'm in my car. I'm filming in my car because it's about my car. The windows are a tad bit open on that side because I need to breathe. And it's kind of warm, but anyways, it's kind of warm but kind of cold. You know how winter is, guys. So we'll see about when people pass by in their very loud cars, like their GTIs or people with motorbikes, whatever. So let's just get right into it. I'm actually behind the steering wheel. I have a cute little tripod that's currently holding my phone, so I'm glad that's working out, but I've had to do a lot of test takes, as you guys have seen in the beginning. But anyways, so I drive a Suzuki 2018 model to Swift. Suzuki Swift 2018 model. 1.2 GL. I don't know what the GL stands for, guys, but it's GL. So, okay, okay, wait. So I drive a Suzuki Swift 2018 model 1.2 GL AMT. I don't know what the GL stands for, but the AMT stands for automatic manual transmission. So it's an automatic. There's a little gedunsene over here on the little gear and dun where it says drive and then it says manual. I don't know. I've asked somebody before, like, what if I move it to the manual part, what it's gonna do? They try to explain, but I still don't really understand. Point is, I'm driving an automatic. I'm not driving a manual. I did get my license in a manual, and I think that's where I want to start this whole car conversation in terms of getting your license. So I got my license quite late in life for, I think, the general person. I got my license when I was 23. I was in my first year of work, and I had done so. I studied at. Oh my gosh, no. So guys, I studied at Rhodes University in Grahamstown, and because it's so small, it's really easy to do your license there. Like, there are a lot of driving schools. And there are actually people who can do like their track license there as well. But it's easy to, like, in terms of like book the license test and book like the actual driving test. But because myself, I've always been afraid of driving. I did it quite late. I literally did it in my very last year at Rhodes. That's where I got my license, my driver's license. Not my driver's license, my learner's license. And I passed the test on the first time around. Thank you very much. I only got 3 questions wrong. Like, I was overly preparing for this because I've never had an interest in driving, guys. Driving doesn't scare me anymore, obviously, but it scared me because I've seen the way people driving with my brother, driving with my mother, driving in Ubers. I've seen how people drive and how others on the road just act. And it's such a different thing, experience it behind the wheel. I've had to learn, I looked at how my brother drove and how, like, in certain situations where somebody actually could have hit our car or his car, that he just has to be very quick, and I've also had to just learn how to do that. So people drive like shit, guys. Doesn't matter that they've had a license for 10 years. People drive like shit. People's driving habits are bad. Mine are also starting to become a little bit suspect, but I'm trying to, follow the rules of the road. That's very important, to follow the rules of the road. But I never had that interest, right? So, okay, cool. I passed my learner's license, got it. And I did take some driving lessons when I was in Grahamstown, but then had to come back up here, obviously, because I'd graduated, came back home. There's a car passing by. So, okay, cool. I stuck with that driving school, and I did my tests, plural tests with that driving school. I did my driving license test 4 times. 4 times. Passed only in the 4th try. Well, yeah, the 4th try I passed. So it's tough. And yes, I was getting a lot of confidence driving with my instructor, Guys, if you drive like in some parts of Linwood and Pretoria and some parts in like Waterkloof, especially Waterkloof, it's very hilly. So the clutch control needs to be there. That's where you'll definitely learn clutch control. But it was like my driving instructor never really understood that the test itself makes you cuck nervous. Like let me just explain my very first test. I was very confident going in. I really thought I was going to pass first time round because I just built a lot of driving confidence. I've driven in the rain. I've driven at night. Like, I was really, really confident. Cool, gets Ellie docking, right? Ellie docking to the right. Okay, cool. That was fine. Then when I do it to the left, I'm like, okay, no, I don't think I'm going to make it. Can I please do my second try? Okay, we're doing the second try. Then, and I'm like, go. I'm like, what was that? She's like, you hit the pole. I'm like, no, I've never hit the pole. Okay, so I know in the beginning, but I'm like, no, man. So I was very shocked. So literally my first 3 tests, I never made it past the yard. My second test, I can just like give you guys some like context. My second test, I did the parking perfectly, but when it came to the little incline, your girl rolled like 3 times. Lady was very nice to, like do that. But the point is, I ended up getting my license in 2016, right? And I only got a car this year. And that really helped in the long term in terms of with insurance, guys. Because shopping around for insurance was a real pain in my ass. In my big ass, it was a real pain. But having my license for as long as I've had, even though I haven't been driving as long, helped in terms of with the premium I'm going to pay. So if you don't have your license now and you're thinking, I'm not going to get a car anytime soon, don't do that to yourself. Get your license. The car will come, but get your license now. Disclaim it or whatever. I'm very fortunate enough in that my mother bought this car for me. She bought it cash. So I didn't have to go through the whole financing process that many other people have to go through. And I'm very grateful for that. It's not like she's bought it for me or whatever. No, the arrangement that we've had, like with my brother, is that she's bought this car cash and we pay her back the money. So my brother, okay, that was with his first car. But so with this car, I am paying my mom money back. But obviously, it's a little bit better. Okay, I feel like, oh, okay, no, that wasn't really the car. I wasn't even coming this way. Anyways, but I feel like with, obviously, the situation makes it better because if my mom knows, oh, girl, the money is not really there, or there's something I've had to pay for that I didn't see coming, I don't have to pay her for that particular month. And sometimes because I am paying for my school fees, that the amount will vary sometimes. Because at that particular month I had to pay more for my school fees. Sorry, there's like a bug. Oh, it's on the outside. Oh, I thought it was on the inside. Ew. Okay, it's on the outside. Anyways, that's besides the point. So I'm really very fortunate enough for that. I'm really, really grateful that my mom did that for me. But I still have the thing of that you need to pay back. I need to pay her back for this car. So, okay, while we're talking about money, we'll continue talking about money, but while we're talking about the car itself, I am going to talk about how much my mom paid for this car. I think that's just to give you guys, I don't want to give you guys, I don't know, I think it's just to be as open and honest with you about this whole process, right? So this car, the total was like, after everything, the total was about 177,000 and something. Not sure about the exact number, but it was definitely 177,000, right? Okay. And when we spoke about the car in terms of a budget, this car was definitely over the budget. My mom set the budget at about 150,000. And I looked on the internet, of course, and I told her, girl, 150,000 isn't gonna cut it for automatic hatchback that's not too old. And yeah, somebody's Fortuna. A lot of people in like Pretoria drive Fortunas. That's not too old, because I didn't want a car that's very old. So I'm so grateful that this is a 2018 model, right? It's a demo. So it's not apparently there's differences between brand new, demo, and secondhand, right? I don't know what the difference between a demo and a brand new is. I guess that the demo does get used more. The mileage on this car was 3,000 Ks, right? So I think when it comes to a brand new car, you're definitely going to get the mileage will be way lower than that. It should be lower than 500 Ks, right? Not 500,000. Whoa. It should be below 500 Ks. Like usually I've seen when I looked on cars.co.za. That's like the first place everybody's going to look if you're buying a car or, going to sell a car. I don't know, but whatever. So yeah, brand new cars definitely are like below that. And so I told her like that budget wasn't gonna work for us. And I definitely came across a lot of cars that I really wanted that were much higher than this car even. And this car, let me just say, this was a very good deal, first and foremost. It was a fantastic deal. So in terms of I wasn't always gonna go with Suzuki. Let me just start there. I wasn't always going to go with Suzuki. I was looking at multiple cars. I didn't want a Honda i20 because that was my brother's first car, so I wanted to be different. I also didn't want a white car. I'm so sorry for those. I know, I get it, like white cars, it's so easy, but I just don't want to be everybody. Guys, there would be like 4 white cars within our yard. I wanted to be different. So I wasn't looking for a VW, of course, because it is a high-risk car, and I wasn't looking for a Toyota, again another high-risk car. I wasn't looking at what else. I wasn't looking at Mini Cooper because it's expensive. There was some other, I can't remember other cars. Peugeot. I wasn't searching for Peugeot, not because I have anything against Peugeot. I just personally don't know anybody who drives a Peugeot. Okay, so I was just like, why am I gonna get a Peugeot? I'm trying to think of another cars that I wasn't really. So I had looked at Kia, of course. I looked at Mazda, not really Opel. Volvo, the price range was a bit too high. So I definitely was looking at Suzuki. So yeah, that's generally the kind of brands I was looking at. And yes, I think you guys might know from some of my previous videos, I work for a marketing agency and one of our clients is Suzuki, but I didn't get this car on any like discounted special because the marketing agency I work for is the client is Suzuki. This car was a real deal, and we actually came across another Suzuki Swift, just in a different color, in the magma gray, just here in mainland at the Penta Suzuki, going for about the same price. Actually, the guy was very nice, but unfortunately we were a bit too slow in securing that deal. So when this car came along, we went to go test drive it, and that same day my mom bought it. I bought this particular car at Suzuki Bramley. It's not very far from where I work, which is great. But I mean, we live in Pretoria. I had to go all the way to Joburg to go buy this car. Fine, doesn't really matter. So I test drove this car. I only test drove about 3 cars. And I was saying, when I had test drove the other Suzuki demo car, I had decided I want this car. And like, I really wasn't sold on Suzuki as a brand, even though I work with them. Well, I work for them as our client, because I only know one other person in like my immediate circle of friends who drives a Suzuki, and she's never really said anything about that she loves it or hates it. It's Suzuki, but I was sold on buying a Suzuki because of not just the car itself. Yes, it drives really well. Yes, it's very fuel efficient. It's very cute inside, very cute outside. But because of the service that I received from the dealerships that I went to. So I went to 3 Suzuki dealerships. I went to the first Suzuki dealership I actually went to was the one in Handfield. And I didn't get to test drive that car, but I got to be inside it. And for me, what really sold me about this car, and I know it's such a minor detail, but for me, it was just so different. So the back door handles are up there and not down there, like in the corner little thing. Like there's another car that does it. I think that's the Renault Clio. Renault Clio was also on my list, but that car is expensive. And the lady at Suzuki Hatfield was super, super nice. I think her name was Lauren. She was super, super, super duper nice. And then when I went to the Penta Suzuki, I met this guy named Johan, And he was so super nice. So when I was like, I'm obviously him in the driver's seat. My brother was with me. Like, he could tell, oh, this girl is nervous. And he was really sweet about it. Like, he was really, really, like, just calm and just made me feel like, you can do this, girlfriend. You can do this. And he even gave me a hug afterwards. He was super nice. So, and then obviously at Suzuki Bramley, the lady I bought those from, Sipelele, like, she was super, super, super duper nice. Like, like, the customer service that I had just dealt with them before I'd even purchased anything from them was just what set them apart for me as a brand. So I was, like, sold on getting a Suzuki, period. Doesn't matter what Suzuki, but it needed to be a Swift. It couldn't be anything else. It needed to be a Swift. But whether it's going to be the newest, the latest model or an older model, doesn't matter. I just really was sold on Suzuki. And what else? What do I want to say? Oh, so cool. So there was really that. And then come with the test driving. There are a lot of important questions you do need to ask about some of like the features of the car. So fuel consumption is really important in South Africa, guys. Your car needs to be fuel efficient, and this car is flippin' fuel efficient. I can't remember how many liters per 100 Ks. I can't remember, but it was no more than 8. I don't think it was more than 8. And that's really good, because guys, fuel is expensive. And that was really important for me, that the car, because obviously I'm driving so far every single day. One thing, if I can say, that's really important, my mom's like, the car doesn't leave the dealership floor without insurance and without a tracker. And that is super important, because guys, you don't know what can happen. Just now, give one on Twitter, guys. There's this guy, unfortunately, he bought his car, it's a VW, and I think somehow he got into an accident and it's totaled, and now the insurance won't pay out. Like, do you understand? Like, anything can happen from the moment that you leave the dealership floor and go back to your place. And that's another thing, because when they spoke about delivery, so when we were signing the papers and my mom was buying the car and everything, like, they're talking about delivery. I'm like, oh, so they're gonna deliver it to our house. Mom's like, no, that's not how it happens. Delivery is when you go fetch the car, you drive it. I'm like, oh, why do they call it delivery? That's not delivery, but whatever. Anyways, the point is that I couldn't drive it all the way from Bramley to here and the car not be insured, because anything could have happened, and that would have just been a fuck up if something had happened to the car and it's not yet insured. Sure, like, I can't leave without tracker. Again, tracker very important, because what if, God forbid, the car could have gotten stolen on its very first day at the dealership floor, and what then? What then? Nothing. You can't find your car. There's no insurance. Like, those are really important. So if I can really impart that on anybody who's going to go and buy a car soon, please don't let it leave the dealership floor without insurance and without tracker. And let's go back to insurance and how much of a pain in my big ass it was. I mean, I've been shopping around. Well, I had to shop around for medical aid when I started paying for medical aid. And that was like a walk in the park compared to this. They ask you 1,000,001 questions just to give you a quote that is definitely not within your budget, and then you have to be like, okay, I've wasted 20 minutes of my life just to basically be told that they want me to pay something that I really can't afford. So prepare yourself for that. Buy enough airtime to have those long ass conversations with insurance consultant. I ended up going with budget insurance. They were the most affordable, and their excess wasn't too bad. What I've recently learned, though, is that I have a chip on my windscreen. Guys, this car is going to be 3 months on the 30th of June. But Miguel has seen live. First and foremost, because Caroline is the Google Maps that I use. I relied on Google Maps in literally the first month that I drove to work. I'm not going to lie. And I did want to avoid the N1 and traffic. So I took the whole little box to avoid motorways. So she took me really off, like, around. And I did it kind of save time. But twice, there's this particular place near Olifantsfontein that's, for me to, if I take the road, I'm going to sit in traffic. So she took me off road. I'm like, Caroline, you don't see me. You don't see us. You don't see my car. my car's not made for that. No, it's not made. I mean, we got through over here, but I was just like, my poor car. I've never driven off road. Like, flip, I was scared as hell. I'm like, okay, do I like go over that bump? Now there's like these like, oh my gosh, guys, it was just scary. But anyways, so there's a chip on my windscreen because don't follow trucks that carry any kind of anything, not even just sand, anything. Don't follow trucks. But anyways, I mean, a chip can happen because somebody's in front of you, they drive over a tiny little stone, whatever. I have a very tiny chip. So I'm thinking the scratch and dent is going to cover that. No, it's not. I'm like, okay, cool. So like, what do I do? You have to claim for this. It's so small. And I don't want it to become a huge crack or I'm going to have to replace the whole freaking windscreen. But it had any claim, windscreen has an excess of 900 and something. I'm like, sure, it's cool. I'll fix it myself. Because I know, I spoke to people in my office. If I go to PG Glass or Glassfoot, they're going to fix this for way less than that. Actually, it could be free because it's so small. I'm like, guys, insurance. Yeah, I mean, people always told me, like, in terms of with insurance, going with the right insurance person, because I don't know anybody who's with budget insurance. But people are like, you'll only see that your insurance is good when you have to claim, when you're in an accident or a fender bender, those kind of things. When you have to claim for those kind of things, you will see if they're a good insurance or not, because it's either they're gonna like take you through the ringer and just be very difficult, or they're gonna make everything very easy for you. Learning to read the driver's manual is so important, guys, because there was like a little blue light, and that means my engine is cold. But I didn't know it, and this was when I'd pull off the driveway. I'm like, what does this blue light mean? So I had to go park by the clubhouse, take out my driver's manual, and be like, oh, okay, my engine is just cold. That's what it means. And, you know, I just felt like, girl, you need to read your driver's manual. So you don't want those kinds of things where you need to pull off and then figure out what's going on with your car and everything, right? So read the driver's manual before you hit the road on your own. And hitting the road on your own is going to be scary if you're a person who hasn't driven like me. So the first morning when I was driving all the way to work, like I said, I live in Pretoria East, Pretoria Far East. I live next door to Silver Lakes, driving all the way to Caller Drive in Bramley. That's like Melrose Arch area, guys. It's far. So I left super duper early. I left at 5:30 because I was like, it's okay, it wasn't a Monday, it was like a Wednesday. I don't want to be in traffic and have to deal with the traffic. But I was actually just surprised at how much, because I did take the N1, at how much, even though I had Caroline there, I did take the N1. I'd been on the N1 for a long time, guys, but I still had Caroline there. I was just like so surprised at how many cars were on the road at that time. So anyways, if you are person who like is going to drive very far for your job like me, and it's your first time driving in your new car by yourself, give yourself enough time to drive slowly, and like if things go wrong, and also just get used to other people driving, guys. That's the one thing that I don't think anybody could have prepared me for. No driving school. It's just when you're on the road, seeing how other people drive. You're not just driving, you're driving for yourself, yes, for you to be safe, but you also need to be very cognizant of how other people, what they are doing. Like, I have been so shocked at how many unroadworthy cars there are. And I'm not talking about taxis, guys. I'm talking about people who are driving their kids to school, or driving or they are themselves are going to work. Their cars are not roadworthy. So many people's brake lights do not work. Or it's one brake light that works, or it's that top one at the top that works. No, how am I supposed to see that when it's misty in the morning? So if anybody has a car like that, or like, I don't know if you've also seen like some cars, for whatever reason, their lights are just really dark. I change lanes and I drive behind another car. Doesn't matter if that lane is going slow or that car is going slower. I don't like to drive behind cars whose brake lights are not working, because that's an indication for me to slow down as well. Another thing I was a little bit afraid of was sort of my first trip to the petrol station by myself. I mean, guys, I've been to obviously I've been to petrol station, but going me myself, driving and telling the person, okay, this is how much petrol I want. I was just a little bit afraid of it. I'm like, do I park too close? I'm not going to be parked too far. But it was fine. It was really easy. And again, being at the petrol pump actually surprised me again at the fuel efficiency of this car. I thought I was going to have to pay a certain amount, and I paid a little bit less than that. I was like, this car is really super fuel efficient. But then I'm definitely now one of those people who are watching the fuel price like, okay, like, Because guys, yo. One thing I haven't learned in terms of going to the petrol station is when they want to check your oil and water and tire pressure. So I kind of did that the other day, and I told the guy, look, I ain't gonna lie, I don't really know what the tire pressure is. So he's like, okay, it's fine, I'll just check the one tire. And advice my mom did give me, somebody's driving past with their motorbike. I need to learn, like, girl, you gotta really save to maintain your car, and not just with terms of with excess, but if I need a new part for my car, that insurance is not gonna is this guy coming back? That insurance is not going to cover. This guy's coming back. This guy is so rude. That insurance is not going to cover. I need to just do that. I need to pay for it myself. So when it comes to a car, it's very important that you actually save a lot of money for it, and making sure that you have the money for these things that, guys, your tire could just burst and then you need to replace it. Sometimes insurance won't replace it. Sometimes, another important thing in terms of with a car, check that your spare tire is the actual size that you need it to be for your car. Because if it's not, you are going to be driving on a biscuit and it's going to be a fuck show. To drop me somewhere, not having to rely on Uber, it's mind-blowing. Like, it's really just, it's a lot of freedom that you have, and it does come with a lot of responsibility, but the freedom is really great. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave a lot of links down in the description box down below for anything that I might not have touched on. There's a couple of things that I've read on the Suzuki Auto South Africa blog that really actually did help me in terms of learning about cars, the car buying process, what to ask my dealer, and even now as a car owner, how to look after my car, how to drive in a particular way with an automatic car to be fuel efficient, even though as fuel efficient as this car is. So there's a lot of like really helpful stuff on their blog that they do have. I will leave it in the description box down below for you guys to have a look at. If you're buying a new car, if you're buying your first car, please do check it out, guys. You can never be too informed when it comes to buying a car. Do you understand? You can never be too prepared when it comes to buying a car. Do you understand that there's a lot of cars out there? Make a well-informed decision and don't go with the first deal that you see, or whatever else. But I hope that you guys like this video. I hope that you guys will give it a very big thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below before you go, and I will see you guys later. Bye from me and my car Luna.